All right, so here's a No B.S guide to abandoned cart flows in 2025. As the title says, no bullshit, no fucking around, just pure value. So let's dive right into it. Here's my promise to you. In this video, we'll cover why abandoned carts are costing you millions, why most brands don't actually have this flow, and do you fall under that category? A step-by-step guide to create an effective abandoned cart flow, the fastest way to create an abandoned checkout flow, and A/B tests to run. So here's a little bit about me, if that's what you're interested in. And if not, let's talk about abandoned carts. So 74% and rising of e-com carts are being abandoned. And if you don't have an effective flow in place to recover all of those sales, you're quite frankly burning cash. The reason behind this is the fact that everyone is a window shopper in 2025. And because of this, they add millions and millions of dollars worth of products to carts. Some of them even proceed to checkout, but the vast majority of them never hand you the cash. And that is the cold, harsh truth of e-com in 2025. So, why abandoned cart flow absolutely prints money? The fact that everyone is just adding to cart without buying anything is not that bad of a thing actually for you, because most of those people have made a micro commit by adding an item to cart. They imply that they actually like that item. And since everyone is to some extent an emotional buyer, when you hit these people with a well-crafted abandoned cart or checkout flow, you drive loads of impulse purchases. And hear me out, this is not a bad thing at all, because everything is an impulse purchase. You can be thinking about buying something and weighing the cons and the pros, but the moment you click that complete checkout button, it's an impulse purchase. So I don't want you to look at this as a bad thing, please, because this is just the way the human psychology works. Now, do you have this flow? Most brands don't have this flow because until recently, Klaviyo actually didn't have added to cart metric installed, so you had to install it manually by adding some code to your Shopify store. Because of this, most brands didn't have a proper abandoned cart flow. However, most of they do because Klaviyo confuses abandoned checkout flow for the abandoned cart flow. Let me show you. Here's what it looks like inside of Klaviyo. So this is a screenshot from Klaviyo. Basically, the trigger for the Klaviyo's template for the abandoned cart flow is actually checkout started. This means that this is not an abandoned cart flow, but rather an abandoned checkout. The trigger for the abandoned cart flow would be added to cart, right? So to fix this, you need to build the flow from scratch. Sorry, but don't worry, I'll show you exactly how to create both of these flows. Now, here's the difference. You add something to your cart. You click proceed checkout. You land on this checkout page. You don't enter your credit card information. You leave the page. That's an abandoned checkout. On the other hand, you add something to cart. You leave the website. That's an abandoned cart. So this means that all of these people are not entering your abandoned checkout flow, which means they're not getting reminded to complete their purchase, which means that they're costing you millions of dollars because no one's emailing them. They're not being reminded. They're just costing you money. Now, how to create an abandoned cart flow? So here's the structure. If you're low on time, here's the 80-20 that will get you the most bang for your buck. 4 emails, that's it. No need to do 8, 10, 15 weird splits. You can do that, but I'll explain why it's not the most valuable thing. So email 1, just a reminder, just show the product they left in the cart. Email 2, social proof, maybe some USPs. Email 3, pitch the discount here. Email 4, last chance to use the discount, plus ask them if they need any help. This is going to be a plain text from the founder. So this should do the work well enough without requiring too much work from you, since most of the sales will come from the first 2 or 3 emails, maybe 4. Now, you don't have to follow this exact outline. You can build one on your own, but it will most likely be something similar to this because these are the tried and tested methods. So they work. You can do all the splits based on the product, but the problem is the fact that the number of people that will receive each email will be small unless you're a really big brand. So it's really hard to test and optimize these emails. Plus, it's just not worth it to optimize each email for 50 people to receive it in the end. So here are the filters you need. Trigger, add to cart, profile filters, checkout started 0 times since starting this flow, and placed order 0 times since starting this flow, and has not been in the flow in the last 30 days. So let's talk about each email. Email number 1. The purpose of this email is just to remind people they left something in the cart. Now, many people will convert just with these emails. In fact, most people will. So this is the formula. Headline, dynamic product section, call to action. maybe risk reversal and some free shipping icons. So that's optional. Here's an example. As you can see, this is super simple, super straightforward, and it follows the formula we talked about. So headline, forget something short to the point. Dynamic product section, call to action, and guarantee plus free shipping icons. Email number 2. So we want to give some social proof here and maybe mention our USPs. So this will serve for those who are on the fence, okay? So here's an example. USPs here, you can see dynamic product section, reviews, call to actions 1, 2, 3. That's it. Again, you don't have to follow what I tell you exactly word for word, but this is just to give you some inspiration and some frameworks to follow, okay? You can decide to include your USPs only or only social proof if you think that will work better. And in the end of the day, you'll have to test everything out. So you'll have to include one and the other in the tests. Email number 3. So here we introduce the discount. This will get you another portion of people who didn't want to buy with the first 2 emails to buy now. So introduce the discount, give what you're comfortable with, but I just wouldn't go below 10% because that just doesn't seem valuable enough, okay? Then we have the dynamic product section and call to action. Super simple again. No need to overcomplicate anything. As I said, I want to give you the most cost-effective way for creating an abandoned cart flow, so we focus on highest leverage emails. Email 4. This email is going to be a plain text email from the founder. We find that these work really well. So we'll be instilling some urgency by saying that the discount is about to expire, and we'll also ask people if they need any help. We'll just encourage them to ask us some questions and reach out to support if they have any specific questions. So here's an example. I actually went ahead and created a template you can use. You can literally steal it if you want. So this is what it looks like. Hey there, I noticed you were still considering the product name you added to your cart. I wanted to personally remind you that the 15% discount we offered expires tomorrow at midnight. I understand that sometimes you might have a question or two before making a purchase. If there is anything I can help with, or if you're unsure about sizing, materials, or anything else, please don't hesitate to reply directly to this email. Don't miss out on this chance to get product name at 15% off. Shop now, here's it. Call to action, signature, that's it. Obviously, make sure this matches your brand voice. Don't make it plain and basic like this. This one is all right, but you see, it's a bit plain. But when you add some brand voice, some specific phrases you guys use, it's going to be amazing. So, creating an abandoned checkout flow in 2 minutes. So, step 1, duplicate the abandoned cart flow we just made. Step 2, change the trigger and the filters. So here are the triggers. Checkout started, filters placed order 0 times since starting this flow, and has not been in the flow in the last 30 days. Then you change the dynamic product section in each email, and boom, you have an abandoned checkout flow as well. So the highest impact A/B tests to run. You have to test subject lines and preview text, plain text versus design emails, the offer, for example, 15% off versus $25 off. And by the way, here's a pro tip. So if your average order value is above $100, you actually want to give dollars off instead of percentage off. So let me explain. Let's say your average order value is $200. If you give 15% off, you can actually give $30 off. It's the same thing, but the number 30 is bigger than the number 15, which makes it look more valuable, even though it's the same thing. So test that. You'll probably find that dollars off works better for the AOV of 100 and above, and percentage off works for the smaller average order values. Okay. Then time delays between emails. And for example, you're testing, I add something to carts. Do I get the email after 30 minutes or after 45 minutes? So that's going to make a massive difference. Next, longer form emails, for example, 150-word emails versus shorter form emails, for example, 50-word emails. Headlines, call to actions. So that's all the stuff you'll need to test to find out what works the best. So probably not going to get it right the first time, but after testing, it's going to make some improvements. Now, if you want to learn how to scale your email marketing, the first link in the description is my free email marketing guide that will help you scale your email marketing. I'll give you some quick tips and tricks that you can implement right away to get an advantage over your competition. If you're an e-com brand doing over 50K a month, you can book a call with me. Second link in the description. So I'll perform a full Klaviyo account audit completely for free. so we can see what are the highest leverage tasks you should be focusing on when it comes to email marketing. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.